Look, Lieutenant, if I had anything hidden, I know that your men would find it. I could give it to you before you tore my place apart.
Sure. And Christmas comes on the first and third Sundays of every month.
I read the search warrant. I guess I can thank my ex-husband. I never would have figured he'd go this route.
Just for the record, Mrs. Gray, he's busting his butt to protect you. He didn't volunteer the information that you have the keys to his office.
Okay, he's a nice guy. I don't even know where the keys are. Anyway, you are not looking for keys.
That's right. We have certain information, maybe wrong information, that makes a search seem like a good idea. Of course, you're sure we won't find anything.
Lieutenant, I have not been sure of anything since I was 15 years old, and I'm not about to tell you how long ago that was.
Lieutenant. Tape to the bottom of a drawer.
Recognize this, Mrs. Gray?
Would you believe me if I said I have never seen it before?
No. Look around. There's 4 more of these somewhere. I'm afraid we're going to have to ask you to come downtown. Anything you say may be used as evidence against you. You're not required to answer any questions or make any comments. You're entitled to the services of an attorney.
The way I'm being set up, I don't think an attorney would do me any good.
Let's go.
I'd like to say I admire your photographer. What's his name? Peter Parker. Parker's ethical stand on not revealing information, although it probably works to my disadvantage.
Well, if he'd known who committed the robbery, he certainly would have. He'd have passed on the information.
Well, as a matter of fact, the robbery's been solved. I couldn't believe it, but the police have an airtight case against my former wife. They found a coin in her apartment.
Only one?
She had Confederates. They have the other.
How do you know?
Let's say I have reason to believe it.
You can do better than that.
Off the record?
Of course. I won't print a word without your permission.
I've been contacted to buy back the other 4 coins.
Have you told the police?
Yeah, of course not. The important thing now is to get the coins back. I'm going to deliver $100,000 to the old Stimson warehouse in the Queens tomorrow morning by 7 o'clock. I consider that a bargain.
Can I use the story in tomorrow's late edition?
Not unless the police crack the case first. There's always the possibility that my wife will identify her partners. I hope she does. That way I'll get my $100,000 back.
Why are you telling me all this?
Once the case is solved, Parker will be let out of jail. I told you I admire him. I'd like him to have this story, if that's possible.
Ray's ex-wife has been arrested. The police found one of the coins in her possession.
What happened to the other 4?
Ray's buying them back tomorrow morning at 7 at Stimson's warehouse.
A police trap.
No, this is off-the-record information. Ray doesn't want the police to know for fear he might not get his coins back.
He shouldn't have told you that. That puts you in the same spot I'm in.
That's a risk I'm prepared to take. In fact, I don't know any way of running a newspaper without taking that risk.
Look, do you think there's any chance you might be able to get me out of here before any more legal appeals?
We're working on it. With any luck, we should have some news tomorrow.
Yeah, by that time, Gray will have his 4 coins, and Mrs. Gray will have a conviction for armed robbery.
You sound as if you don't believe she did it.
I don't.
Well, I'll keep pressuring the Bugle's lawyers to get you out of her as quickly as they can. You'll hear from me tomorrow.
Okay, 6 o'clock, eating time. Oh, looks delicious. Why not running a gourmet restaurant? Listen, it's not bad once you get used to it. When you finish up, slide your tray under the door and I'll come back later and pick it up. All right?
Thanks. Still think that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. How did that help us? Somehow he's escaped from jail without the police knowing. Get to a phone. Make an anonymous call that Parker's escaped.
There's no phone here.
I don't need you to tell me that. Haven't you ever heard of a public phone? Go to a supermarket or a gas station. Now move! Go on.
Yeah? What? Well, how could he escape? I've been here right along. Actually, he's locked in his cell. Sure, I can check, but it's stupid.
Breakfast was lousy.
Oh, that's a shame. Well, I'll file a complaint with the sheriff. Yeah? Of course he hasn't escaped. What? Now, wait a minute. First you tell me that he got out of his cell, now you tell me you want me to let him out? Oh. Oh, he's being released for 24 hours. Okay. The cell will be waiting for him when he gets back tomorrow.
What's the matter with your leg?
Oh, I just twisted my ankle. It's no big deal.
Fine to pull every string to get you even 24 hours. The lawyers are all sure that they can get the courts to void that contempt citation.
Well, if I can't get this whole thing cleared up in 24 hours, Benita Gray is going to be in a lot of trouble.
What are you gonna do?
I want the Bugle to print a special edition.
Do you realize what that would cost?
I just need one copy of one paper, dated tomorrow.
What do you want me to do?
You know Mr. Gray's coins that were supposedly stolen?
Mm-hmm.
Find out who insured them.
That's easy.
Then I want you to do an impersonation.
That sounds like fun.
Wait a minute, what are you doing with my phone?
Using it. Hi, Julie, this is Peter.
Hi.
Look, I need your help.
Say what?
I want somebody to think that the press is working on a story, and I don't want it to look like it's just coming from the Bugle.
Is it a legit story?
I'll tell you all about it tomorrow morning. Now, you just act like a nosy reporter from the Register.
I think you know how to do that.
It'll give it much more authenticity if the story's being investigated by more than one newspaper.
Okay. I'll hang in tomorrow until you call.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Weldon Gray here.
Mr. Gray, this is Miss Conrad, Adjustment Department, Armbruster Insurance Company.
There seems to be some question as to the authenticity of the coins for which you filed a claim.
No, there is no question. I bought the coins myself. They were examined thoroughly before they were stolen. They're absolutely authentic.
I'm sorry, Mr. Gray, but the story is all over the newspapers, and it'll probably be on the TV news. We'll be forced to hold up payment on your claim until we get conclusive evidence that we are not being penalized financially for the theft of worthless coins.
Failure of Congress to approve the income tax cut must be considered the top story of this morning. In other news, the police announced that they have released Bonita Gray, former wife of coin dealer Weldon Gray. The coin, which was thought to be evidence in the robbery of her former husband, has proved to be a counterfeit, and the case against Mrs. Gray has been dropped. In other news, the Child Abuse Prevention Center.
You remember me, Mr. Gray. I'm Julie Masters with the Register. Do you have any comment on the police report that the coins stolen from you were counterfeit?
They weren't. I have no further comment.
How do you explain the fact that the only one found by police was definitely counterfeit?
No comment. See the other coins.
Well, it'll be my pleasure if you have the money.
Take a look at that.
Well, ain't that the strangest thing ever I seen?
Get me the other coins.
Like I said, I'm a trusting man, but it looks to me like you switched the coin I gave you and planted a counterfeit.
Oh, come on. Don't you think the cops know the difference between a counterfeit coin and a real one?
He's got no reason to plan a counterfeit. His wife's off the hook. Then what do you suppose happened?
I don't know, but I want to make sure the other 4 coins are real.
Shall I get him? As soon as we arrange, Mr. Gray doesn't see where the stash is.
Oh, come on. I don't have time to waste.
Oh, really? Well, maybe you can find time if you have no choice. You get off the ship and you wait in the dock.
Why?
Because I don't want you looking and snooping. All right, buddy boy, I'll get the pretties now.
There's your evidence, Lieutenant. That's what Peter Parker said.
All right, fish that man out of the water and get that guy out of the boat. Looks like your man called it this time.
Yes, it looks as though he did.
Boy, am I glad to see you, Lieutenant. Some lunatic threw me in the boat.
Lieutenant?
Welcome. Where's Peter Parker? If those men did anything to him...
Did you get the evidence?
Yes, we got the evidence, all right. And those men are getting prison sentences. And I see the register's getting pictures of all this. What's the Bugle getting?
I guess I got here a little too late to take it.
No, Peter, you have half the pictures I have. I wouldn't have any if it weren't for you.
Well, that leaves me with nothing to complain about. Come on, I'll drive you back to town.
No, I've got my car. I'll take Julie.